number one tonight on the news are women, not objects. That's the hashtag that we've put out on a day when two sexist netas have decided that on the eve of the 68th Republic Day, they will objectify women. And joining me this evening on the panel are GVL Narasimha Rao, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Dr. Sunil Singh, leader of the JDU, Rajiv Rai, National Secretary of the Samajwadi Party, Ranjana Kumari, Director, Center for Social Research, Suhail Seth, author, and Pallavi Joshi, actor. But I'm coming to you first, Dr. Sunil Kumar Singh. It's not the first time that Sharad Yadav has really taken on women one way or another, objectifying them. Let me tell you a history of statements made by Sharad Yadav. And this is probably the newest low that he sunk down to. He said in 2016 January, he says, in fact, in 2015, he says, comments on complexion of women, says, Smriti Irani says, I know who you are. He talks about South Indian women and he says, हम जानते हैं ये कैसे होती हैं, इनकी body कैसी होती है. And this is on the floor of the parliament with objections coming in from women leaders. He also talks about Sheila की जवानी. He says, बूढ़े लोग को भी देख के शीला की जवानी का असर होता है. All this on the floor of the parliament. But today what he says, Dr. Sunil Kumar Singh, he says that एक वोट की इज्जत जाती है तो देश की इज्जत जाती है. अगर एक लड़की की इज्जत जाती है तो मोहल्ले और गांव की इज्जत जाती है. Just what gives Sharad Yadav the right to quantify and give the magnitude of a woman's honor? Is he in some position to magnify that the izzat of a girl is less than the izzat of a country? Is that what he is trying to say? And should the party, the JDU, not come out and apologize for the comments made by Sharad Yadav? Where is Nitish Kumar? He is very vocal about most political issues. Why is he not pulling up Sharad Yadav today or apologizing on his behalf, Dr. Sunil Kumar Singh?
Let me clarify, Navika, point by point. First, JDU is purely woman-centric and works for women empowerment in the state of Bihar, and the whole Bihar knows. Like some
as demonstrated by Sharad Yadav.
Let me speak first. On the behest of
first
women,
talk about Sharad Yadav. Don't give us a lecture on women and how much you respect women. Speak about Sharad Yadav first. Apologize on his behalf.
Navika, let me speak first. 1 minute for me, 1 minute for me. And so, it's such a woman-centric that on the behest of women, the JDU has imposed liquor ban here. And the woman-centric things are the woman reservation in Panchayat, woman reservation in jobs, Balika Cycle Yojana, Balika Posak Yojana, woman helpline.
Sharad Yadav is the question I'm asking you, Dr. Sunil Kumar Singh. Sharad Yadav's comments.
Yeah.
This is not a manifesto release function where you've come and you're releasing the manifesto of your political party. I'm asking you a straight question on the statements made by Sharad Yadav today.
Yeah, Navika, so a leader of JDU, and that also of a national stature, who had been national president, I think, and is unimaginable that he will say anything against women. What he must have said is that
you haven't heard
and the votes.
Are you saying you haven't heard his statement? No, if you haven't heard his statement, I will play out. Have you heard his statement? Don't say what he must have said. Have you heard his statement?
Navika, hear my point also. He must have said that the daughters...
No, he must have said no. He must have said is not an acceptable answer. If you haven't heard, I'll play out the soundbite for you.
Navika, why don't you listen? Why don't you listen, Navika? He said that the votes should be as precious as daughters. This kind of a poetic analogy and poetic exaggeration...
This is poetry. This is poetry, Dr. Sunil Kumar Singh. Let's just play out. Can I please ask my director to play out the comment? Play out the comment made by Sharad Yadav where he is quantifying and talking about the magnitude of a woman's honor if she is raped. Please hear the comment, Dr. Sunil Kumar Singh, because then there will be no room for doubt for you or the viewers who are watching this program this evening. Please play out the comment made by Sharad Yadav.
यानी हमारा हर तरह का संग्राम, हर तरह का सपना, जिन लोगों का सपना, जिन लोगों ने सपना देखा था उनके नाम पर हम लोग यहाँ इकट्ठा है, वो सपना कैसे पूरा हो, कैसे ठीक हो, ठीक होने में ये जो बैलेट पेपर है, याद रखो, इसके बारे में सब जगह बड़े पैमाने पर समझाने की बताने की जरूरत है। ये बेटी की इज्जत से भी वोट की इज्जत बड़ी है। बेटी की इज्जत जाएगी तो गांव और मोहल्ले की इज्जत जाएगी। और वोट एक बार बिक गया, एक बार गड़बड़ हो गया तो इलाके की, देश की, सूबे की इज्जत और आबरू और आने वाला सपना पूरा नहीं हो सकता।
Dr. Sunil Kumar Singh, anything left to doubt? He says बेटी की इज्जत जाएगी तो घर और मोहल्ले की इज्जत जाएगी, वोट की इज्जत जाएगी तो पूरे देश की इज्जत जाएगी. Is that a quantification of or the magnitude of a woman's izzat or honor? Is it or is it not? Is it an acceptable statement by a former national president of the Janata Dal United? Would you like to apologize to women in this country for that statement made by a senior leader?
Definitely, Navika. If it has hurt the sentiments of women, Honorable K.C. Tyagi has said on TV that he has apologized.
It should hurt your sentiments too, sir. I'm very sorry. Dr. Sunil Kumar Singh, I have to come in here. Do not say if it has hurt the sentiments of women, because it should hurt your sentiments too. Let me tell you what is really objectionable about this statement. Let me repeat this for you. Beti ki izzat jayegi to mohalle ki izzat jayegi. You forget about the votes honor. You tell me what this means. Beti ki izzat jayegi to mohalle ki izzat kyun jayegi? Is it some commodity that is in possession of the whole mohalla, of the entire neighborhood? What kind of a derogatory analogy is this, Dr. Sunil Kumar Singh? And if this does not offend you personally, then you too have a sexist mindset.
Tina, the thing is that he made up analogy with a poetic analogy and poetic exaggeration. He did not mean that. He said that daughter and votes.
My God, you're calling this poetic analogy yet again. After we've played out the comment, you're calling it poetic analogy. Pallavi Joshi, let me get you in first. Pallavi Joshi, do you think there's anything poetic? Pallavi Joshi, is there anything poetic about this analogy that has been made by Sharad Yadav? You're a creative person. Why don't you tell Dr. Sunil Kumar Singh if you saw anything poetic in that analogy that was drawn by Sharad Yadav?
Far from it, Navika. In fact, I have also heard that after making this statement in which he draws parallels between the nation's honor and a woman's honor, he has gone on record to say that, no, this is not what I meant. A woman's honor is as big as a vote for us. So again, he's drawing parallels, which is, I'm really shocked that a senior politician like Mr. Sharad Yadav is making statements like this. It is pitiable. And for me, it is not a woman's issue anymore. And I think for all of us, it should cease being a women's issue. Women constitute to 50% of the population here. So necessarily there are some elements from one half of the population directly attacking the other half of the population. It has now become a humanitarian issue for me. It's not just a women's issue anymore.
Of course not. In Ranjana Kumari, the point is that Dr. Sunil Kumar Singh wants to wax eloquent about Nitish Kumar's women empowerment policy. I ask you, what good is that policy if these are the kind of statements the party leadership is going to make?
Well, Tina, in lack of democratic structure in political parties, these people are too nervous, too scared to make any kind of comment, and they don't have a spine to stand against these kind of comments of their leadership, because Sharad Yadav was the president of their party. Sunil Kumar Singh cannot afford to say anything here. That is why he is trying at length to talk about poetry. It sounds poetry to him, and he's apologizing because it's hurting the sentiments of women. It should hurt the sentiments of the nation. It should hurt sentiment of every citizen of this country. What kind of a language is that? What kind of, first of all, is the honor belongs to, as you rightly said, and also secondly, लड़की की इज्जत से ज्यादा बड़ी है, because लड़कियों के वोट से तो ये इनको इज्जत मिलती है, ये पार्लियामेंट पहुंचते हैं, ये मिनिस्टर बनते हैं, ये पावर एंजॉय करते हैं, क्योंकि यही महिलाएं लड़कियां इनको वोट देती हैं, और इसलिए इनके निश्चित तौर पर वो वोट ज्यादा इन्हें महत्वपूर्ण लग रहा है लड़की की सुरक्षा और स्वास्थ्य और शिक्षा से. तो इसलिए that is what they are trying to present to the nation, and that is why coming from states which have UP and Bihar, Vinay Katiyar and Sharad Yadav, they symbolize states where women suffer the most. Education, they are behind. Health, they are behind. And there is so much of violence on women. Safety, security has such big stake. If these kind of people, don't call them Neta. Please don't call them Neta. These are
Yeah, and
politicians.
Ranjana Kumari,
They don't know Neta.
Ranjana Kumari, since you brought up Vinay Katiyar, let's go to GVL Narasimha Rao on that very, very objectionable statement also. GVL, first of all, what's your personal opinion about what Vinay Katiyar said when asked about Priyanka Gandhi being a star campaigner? His response, there are many other more beautiful, prettier women out there, so why should she be a star campaigner? Is a woman's claim to fame only how beautiful she is? Is that her only set of skills? Is that the only thing that she can bring to the table? Is a star campaigner chosen on the basis of looks, according to you, Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao?
Not at all, Tina. But I have a question. I don't think we should really be talking about women or their looks, because that's not what they are for in politics. As it is, the profession of politics is a very, very difficult profession for women. I think on top of it, if we have...
That's a very lofty statement to make, GVL Narasimha Rao.
Oh,
no, it's
GVL Narasimha Rao, that's a very pious statement.
I think you have
GVL Narasimha Rao, very pious statement coming from you, but have you forgotten just what...
I'll make a very harsh statement.
No, I'm just saying that 12 hours ago, Vinay Katiyar has made such a statement.
I'm making a very harsh statement.
Your party president, and our Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, is trying to bring in Beti Padhao, Beti Bachao. He's trying to increase the height of this nation in the nations of the world. And what are leaders like Vinay Katiyar doing? And nobody in the party pulls up these leaders. That's the question. It's not what Vinay Katiyar says alone which is important. It's why they are not being pulled up by the senior leadership. That's my question to you, GVL Narasimha Rao.
Have you not? You've just played a statement by the INB Minister, Shri Venkaiah Naidu. He just now
That's
said,
the usual
you have played the
distancing
comment.
statement.
He's a senior leader of the party.
That's a usual distancing statement. Where is the statement from the party saying that such leaders have been pulled up? You are a transparent political party. You give sound bites on every issue of national importance or regional importance or state importance. Why does your party not think it important to make a statement from a spokesperson, if not from a senior party leader, that from a spokesperson saying that such a leader has been pulled up by the senior leadership of the party, not just a routine distancing yourself and we do not approve of it? Why have you pulled up Vinay Katiyar? Does he even realize what he's saying?
What does that mean?
It means asking him to apologize, GVL. If you want clarity on that, it means asking him to apologize. You know, the point is, one second, Ranjana. One second. Yeah, Ranjana, coming to you, GVL. You know, when... GVL, one second. So when we spoke to him after this comment today, when Archie Senator spoke to him, even then Vinay Katiyar said Shama or Vinay Katiyar, kabhi nahi. What kind of blatant arrogance is this? Doesn't someone need to tell him this is not acceptable in a party which says it stands for Beti Padhao, Beti Bachao? Where is the action? We always see this. Comment, outrage, condemnation, distancing. Where is the action, GVL?
Is it time for me to speak?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Okay. I think no less than a minister had made that comment, and our party does not approve of any comment. This is certainly an indiscretion if this was made out of context. But he claims that this was done in response to a question. The reality is, I'm asking, what are Priyanka Vadra's credentials?
That's not for you to judge. That's not for you to judge, GVL Narasimha Rao. And once again, GVL Narasimha Rao. Once again, GVL. 1 minute. GVL Narasimha Rao. Once again, you said the context. Let me tell you the context. Let us play out the soundbite once again. If I can tell my director the ANI soundbite where the question is audible. The question is asked by the journalist. The journalist has asked the question, GVL Narasimha Rao,
come on, you think we have no right to
Priyanka
ask
star
questions?
campaigner hai, is par aapka kya कहना hai? He responds and says, उनसे भी सुंदर महिलाएं हैं, लड़कियां हैं.
What are her credentials? She has.
That's not for you to question. That the voters will question. The voters will question. But you question. No. GVL Narasimha Rao, you are changing the goalpost. GVL Narasimha Rao, you are changing the goalpost.
This is highly.
GVL Narasimha Rao, you are changing the goalpost. You said what was the context of the question. He has said. No, okay, you said, did you or did you not say?
Can I come in, Navika?
GVL Narasimha Rao. GVL Narasimha Rao. Let's get the record straight. 1 minute, Ranjana Kumari. Let me just get the context
I want
question.
you to comment on this. I want
No,
somebody to
before
take
that,
this
GVL Narasimha Rao,
question.
you asked the context in which that statement was made. Let us play out for you the context in which that question was made. Please play out the soundbite of Vinay Katiyar where the question of the journalist
giving
is
you my
audible.
answer.
Look, hear the question and then give the answer. Hear the question first.
प्रियंका गांधी स्टार कैंपेनर है कांग्रेस की, फर्क आपको लगता है?
नहीं, उस पर क्या फर्क लगता है? उनसे ज्यादा तो बहुत सी सुंदर और भी महिलाएं, लड़कियां हैं जो स्टार कैंपेनर हैं, हीरोइन हैं, कई कलाकार हैं, वो ज्यादा हैं उनसे ज्यादा.
GVL Narasimha Rao, that was the context. The question, very audible there.
Can you repeat the
Priyanka
question?
Gandhi star campaigner है कांग्रेस की, क्या आपको फर्क लगता है उससे? And he turns around and he says, उनसे भी सुंदर महिलाएं हैं. What is the difficulty in understanding the context, GVL Narasimha Rao? In this context, is that statement of objectification of Priyanka Gandhi justified?
It's an inappropriate. No, it is not a justified response. It's an inappropriate response. The answer for that, I would have answered, what are her capacities? What is her political intellect? What is her political grounding?
But that's not what he said. That's the point.
To become a star campaigner?
That's fair enough.
How is she going to make any difference? She is as politically overrated as Rahul Gandhi. She is possibly
that's fair enough. But Suhail Seth, do you think that GVL Narasimha Rao first went wrong when he questioned the context, because the context was there, the question of the journalist was audible? Do you think now questioning the credentials of Priyanka is something that even Vinay Katiyar could have done, but he didn't? He actually objectified Priyanka Gandhi. Is that why the BJP should be pulling up rather than just taking a pious stand and saying that we condemn this statement and that's about all that we are going to do?
So normally GVL is very reasoned. I'm appalled at the logic, and let me destroy his logic step by step. The debate is not about competence, it's about casting a slur, it's about derogatory comments that were made by a person who belongs to the ruling party. It's not GVL's business or Vinay Katiyar's to question Priyanka Gandhi's credentials, because Priyanka Gandhi is campaigning for a party that wants her to campaign.
Why not?
The BJP she doesn't belong to, so the BJP can't choose whether she campaigns for the Congress or not. Number two, if you look at the flip-flop, see, I'm not surprised by the Vinay Katiyars and the Sharad Yadavs, because they've proven time and again that they are loutish in their behavior, despicable in their minds, and petty in their outlook. I'm not worried about them. What I'm worried about is that these are the people who their political parties condone time and again, and there is no demonstrable condemnation. Navika and Tina, you all asked a very pertinent question. What do you do with these people? You can't do very much, because they love the airtime they get. They love the fact that they're being discussed. I mean, even their own families wouldn't discuss them with such warmth and grace. The problem is the Election Commission, the National Commission for Women are toothless bodies. The only operating institution in this country is the Supreme Court. Now, there are three ways of handling these people. Number one, the Election Commission is told to debar them from any political activity, and that's a prevalent practice in many parts of the world. Number two, the party must take a stand, because this stand is relevant for that party. I mean, look at the irony.
That's the most important
Here is Narendra
point.
Modi promoting India,
exactly,
promoting
and this is
equality,
the point that we are making to both the
women,
JDU and the BJP
talking about
tonight.
Beti Padhao, Beti Padhao, Beti Bachao.
You know, but the point is that yes, the election
it's not
commission
about the JDU,
may take
it's
action.
not about the BJP.
The NCW may take action. You know, there has not been much action on this front as far as sexist statements are concerned.
So let me-
but the point is the parties. Why don't the parties take a stand? 1 second, I just okay. So he'll say, I think you had a point 3 to make very quickly, and then based on what you're saying, I want to go back to GVL on this. Yeah,
Tina, my limited point is that until and unless the Narendra Modis, the Nitish Kumars don't sack these louts, they will never send out a signal that they hate and condemn this kind of despicable mindset.
Where is the signal?
Which makes stupid utterances in public life.
Okay.
That's what they need to do.
The point is, GVL,
They need to
we
send
see
out
this
not a
all the
signal.
time.
They need to have
You know, there has
demonstrable
been condemnation, GVL. Even today, you know, you're talking about what Venkaiah Naidu said. Venkaiah Naidu said, I request these 2 senior leaders to please withdraw their statement. That is just about as polite a condemnation as you can possibly get. Now, I ask you, it's not the first time that somebody from your party has made a hugely objectionable statement. It was Giriraj Singh who attacked Sonia Gandhi, saying that she had a top post only because she had a white skin and things would have been different if Rajiv Gandhi would have married a Nigerian. What happened? Your party criticized him. He apologized. Today, we have Vinay Katiyar. Nothing has changed. Your former Vice President Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi, who after 26/11 had said that some women wearing lipstick and powder were taking to the streets in Mumbai against the political class. Your party distanced itself from him then, but nothing happened. Remember the very, very infamous incident of O.P. Sharma, what your MLA O.P. Sharma did when he was confronted by Alka Lamba in the Delhi Assembly. He said, "Ye raat bahar ghumne wali." That was the level to which he stooped. This is the kind of statement that he made. What happened? He was suspended for 2 days. Then, where is the clear-cut action against these people, GVL, to ensure that nobody makes a statement of this kind in the future? Especially when your party says and your central leadership says that we stand for women's rights.
Yeah, you see, I think you don't have a Congress representative on the panel. That's why you're not talking about the Digvijay Singh Tanch Mall comment. You're not talking about...
everybody has... Yes, it cuts across political lines.
Comment.
I give you that, GVL. But you are responsible for your leaders.
I think,
we will
so
absolutely...
This is a larger,
there are infamous statements made by leaders across all parties.
Just because the Congress does it, GVL Narasimha Rao, are you saying that you can justify the BJP also doing it?
No.
Is that what you're saying? That's what it seems like.
No. There is a
So what's your point?
There is a deep-rooted gender bias in our society, and even more a stronger bias in political arena. And it's really difficult. I'm accepting it. It's across the board, and certainly my party, the such comments are far fewer compared to what I can list out from the Congress and many other parties. But then that's not a consolation. So as for whenever such things happen, certainly our party takes a very clear view of it. You don't have Congress party anybody question Digvijay Singh? Can you show me one bite? Has anybody in the Congress
but the point, GVL, the point is this, that if you're going to point fingers at other parties, that does not justify statements made by your party leaders either. You know, just because others have said it, it doesn't make it okay for these men to say it either. And you know, I must say that Rajiv Rai was vigorously shaking his head and saying, yes. But Rajiv Rai, I ask you, do you have any locus standi to comment on this? Because the one comment this country is never going to forget is the boys will be boys comment made by Mulayam Singh in the context of rape.
Correct.
Tina, I was just listening to all these statements and comments made by all our panelists, and I was wondering, is it necessary and must for any one of us to all the time justify this kind of comments or statement? Me, Rajiv Rai, as an individual, as a teacher, as a political worker, and right now as a spokesperson for the Samajwadi Party, will never approve this kind of statement, whoever he or she may be. First thing, I just don't know, it's so disgusting because basically I'm a teacher and I'm not here to justify anybody's statement, anybody, irrespective of his political party. And I'm not slave of anyone, so I'm here to...
Including Mulayam Singh and Abu Azmi. Including Mulayam and Abu Azmi then.
I'm coming to the point. Hold on. whatever Netaji spoke, he did come out and gave his own justification. Irrespective of that, underline this, I stand by what my today national president, then the chief minister and UP president, Mr. Akhilesh Yadav, came out very next day and made a statement in the media. Today, that day, and forever. My opinion.
Saying to the journalist,
so it's very convenient, Rajiv Rai. It's very convenient for the Samajwadi Party. It's very convenient for the Samajwadi Party to one day take Akhilesh's side, the other day take Mulayam Singh's side, because now you have two camps within your own party. So you can easily distance yourself.
Not question. No.
You know. So then, how can you distance yourself from Mulayam Singh Yadav's statement?
I was on the. I remember very well. I was on the Times Now that day itself. Navika, I remember very well. Very next day, I was there on your own channel, and almost similar statement I had made that day also. No change for me. No change. I cannot.
But what action is your leadership taking?
Let me tell
Okay, Mulayam Singh is one thing. You know, he's got away being party president for all this while. He got away with his boys will be boys statement. No, Rajiv Rai, it's all very well for you to sit there and say that I disagree with these kind of statements. Can you tell me what action was taken against Abu Azmi when he said today in the modern world, the more a woman portrays nudity, the more she is considered fashionable? What action was taken against Abu Azmi?
And let me add to that comment. He said, "Chini padi hogi to चींटियां आएंगी." Is he comparing women with sugar? I mean, is that the ultimate objectification of women? What action was taken against Abu Azmi? And you're still a member of the Samajwadi Party. You haven't objected to your leadership about such statements coming from a member of your own political party. Even though you're taking such a high moral ground on the issue that you said what you said on the day Mulayam Singh Yadav made that statement, but you haven't taken up Abu Azmi's case with your senior leadership either.
Navika, Akhilesh Yadav told a journalist.
See, I told.
Can I remind Rajiv Rai?
Allow me to go. I did not interfere with anyone.
1 minute, Ranjana Kumari. Let him respond. There's a volley of questions.
Let me remind him what Akhilesh said. Akhilesh said to the journalist, it has not happened to you. Why are you worried? So wasn't he also responsible for really undermining what was going on in his state? So don't say that because Mulayam Singh Yadav and Akhilesh today are standing separate, so you can always side with Mulayam Singh Yadav or Akhilesh Yadav as it suits you and it is convenient.
Okay, GVL also wanted to ask you a question. Rajiv Rai, just 30 seconds more. Rajiv Rai, just 30 seconds more. GVL Narasimha Rao also wanted to make an observation to you. Why don't you hear GVL Narasimha Rao and then you can answer both Ranjana Kumari and GVL Narasimha Rao together. Yes, GVL.
No, Navika, that's what I was mentioning.
Well,
Akhilesh Yadav has told a television journalist, why are you covering this rape victims story? Why are you playing it up? You have not been raped, no? Why are you worried about it? Don't be under any fear. You have not been raped. Don't show this kind of anger. I think what sensitivity was Akhilesh Yadav displaying? There is a
okay, Rajiv Rai, respond to both the comments of Ranjana Kumari and GVL Narasimha Rao. Rajiv Rai.
Navika, I just want to.
What about Akhilesh? Now your fig leaf of Akhilesh is also gone.
This particular. No, what context this particular statement he made?
What context?
You can read in your own way. I go by the statement of Mr. Akhilesh Yadav, what he spoke as a member of parliament, as a chief minister, as a state president, and now as a national president.
See, you can't have context when it comes to statements like this, sir. I'm afraid when it's statements like this, you cannot say that this was the context or that was the context. A wrong statement is a wrong statement. No, but these kind of statements should be unacceptable on every level. Don't try to read some sort of justification into them from under the pretext of context. So Hale Seth wants to come in and then we go back to the women, please, Ranjana Kumari and Pallavi Joshi after that. Yes, so Hale Seth wants to make a point. So Hale Seth, please.
Your view about women's respect.
Everybody says that, nobody follows it. Yes, so Hale Seth.
Mr. Rao, 1 minute. I just want to make 3 quick limited points. You can't have competition on bad behavior. Oh, my 3 leaders said it, but your 4 leaders said it. B, you may disagree with Priyanka Gandhi's politics You may disagree with her entry into politics, but she is a daughter, she's a wife, she's a mother. You're castigating not just her, you're castigating, as Navika and you both announced at the beginning of the program, 50% of India's population. The third, look at the mechanism of denial. So denial amongst these people takes three forms. I was quoted out of context. Number two, why are you telling me the other person has also done it? Number three, but we have done so much of development work. Does development work give you the license to behave in an abysmal manner when you're supposed to lead public, when you're supposed to be in public life, when you are in public life? But I'm telling you this time and again, it will repeat itself unless there is demonstrable condemnation which is actionable. Apologies, these people are thick-skinned. They would make a rhinoceros.
But Suhail said the other question is, what do we do? What do we do? Which body do we go to for such complaints? The question is the Election Commission. Election Commission in election season, seeing these statements being made in the context of the Uttar Pradesh elections, hasn't taken suo motu notice. They are waiting for a complaint probably to come from a political party before they will take action. In the meanwhile, they will be, deaf, dumb and absolutely mute, will not take notice suo motu. That's the Election Commission for you.
And this country, I have only the highest faith in the judiciary, and the Supreme Court, while it can comment on the BCCI as it must or whatever, should take suo motu notice, because this, to my mind, is a more severe crime against women, because it influences mindsets which may or may not be formative, but almost suggests a sense of brazenness which is acceptable within political
Fair enough,
class.
but let me get in Ranjana Kumari before I go across to Pallavi Joshi as well. Ranjana Kumari, complaints are made routinely to the National Commission for Women. Salman Khan, when he made that statement that I felt like a woman who was raped after he did all those scenes in his film Sultan. The question is, the NCW sent him a notice, summoned him. There was a letter that was sent to the NCW. The matter ended there, and the NCW just hoped that people would forget that they have to take action, and people would forget Salman Khan, and they would all revel in the hit film that he had given, and nobody would ask any questions. In other cases too, they summon people, they summon politicians, the politicians never turn up. Do these bodies like the National Commission for Women, where nobody turns up, or the Election Commission, which has powers only to censure, are these bodies fit enough to take issues in this manner? Or is, as Suhail said, points out, the judiciary our last hope? Everything has to go to the courts and to the Supreme Court for one, if you want quick redressal to problems.
Well, Navika, don't you know that as Indian women are at the margin of Indian society and most neglected and most ignored, and they really don't get any attention, and same is the situation in the political parties. 3 to 4% women are members and they have no voice, no say, they are not on committees. There is no committee which has the decision-making power where women are there in numbers. So I think that is where matter ends. But about National Commission for Women, since it was created with our own effort, the draft is handwritten by me for the National Commission for Women. I can tell you, Navika, they reduced it. It is the poorest commission in the country. It has absolutely no power. We asked for the power of the Judicial Court. They did not give it to the commission. It is not even, it is subservient to Women and Child Ministry under the Secretary of Women and Child Ministry. What are we talking about? These institutions...
Narasimha Rao, respond. Yours is a government that is proactive.
And these are the people sitting in the power.
Your government is supposed to be proactive on women's rights. Women in this country voted Narendra Modi. Yeah. There was a huge number of women who voted for Narendra Modi. Will your government look at the empowerment of bodies like the NCW, or will you only have them for ornamental value?
What about 33% reservation bill?
Navika.
What are they doing about that?
No, Navika, we are possibly the only party which has 1/3 of our all organizational position reserved for women. Okay, so this is certainly, our party has shown a greater commitment.
No, have you given them? Have you given them? You've reserved,
Number
but you
one.
never appoint them.
No, to a great extent that has been done, but there may be some shortage. I do agree.
Wow.
But because the entry of women itself, the number of women, but compared to other political parties, you can...
But GVL, isn't that exactly the difference between lip service and action?
Number one.
This is the point that we're making here. You know, your party may stand for everything right.
No, you don't.
You know, your Prime Minister may stand for everything right, whether it's Beti Badhao, Beti Padhao, Beti Bachao, whether it's reservation. But the point is the difference between lip service and action, and that is why we are questioning this again tonight. Every single time that there is a statement made to this effect, where is the action, GVL?
When you reserve, you look at the composition. Please don't make comments without understanding. We have a national executive. We have a topmost organizational decision-making body, and this one-third.
No, GVL, I'm sorry, you can't say that. I'm not understanding, because my question to you is on a very base level. Don't say I don't understand. My question to you is simply about action taken against people who make openly misogynistic and sexist statements. That's all I'm asking.
And if you're questioning our understanding, GVL Narasimha Rao, let me first make you understand what Vinay Katiyar further said in another channel. What he said was, प्रियंका गांधी से तो स्मृति ईरानी बेटर है, सुंदर है, जहां जाती है भीड़ लग जाती है. This is what he said about his own colleague, and you are giving us numbers about how many seats are reserved and how much percentage of seats are reserved within your national executive for women. This is what Vinay Katiyar says about Smriti Irani, and I've spoken to Smriti Irani today. She was trying to reach to the senior leadership of her party, and she hasn't still come out and made a comment. Is this how Vinay Katiyar speaks about women in your own political party?
I think you have top ministers already commenting on this and distancing the party. But all this is not going to help. One, you are trying to do naming and shaming. Certainly, this has an impact, and this will certainly have an impact on such politicians. Secondly, you have to criminalize. You see, there is no political party. Let's be practical. I think for every statement you debate for a day and then you forget about it. I think how can we criminalize comments of very highly misogynistic nature?
Okay.
That's what.
Okay. So what action will your party take to criminalize Vinay Katiyar? What action will your party take against Vinay Katiyar to criminalize him? Why don't you set an example, GVL Narasimha Rao? It's a very welcome statement that you make. What will your party do to actually criminalize the statement of Vinay Katiyar? Tell me your action first, and then we'll ask the other political parties.
Let me give you. No, Navika. To my mind, and you might want to attack me for this. I think it was an inappropriate response if this was not given. This is a indiscretion. I don't see beyond that. It's an indiscretion and avoidable.
So you're going to pass it off as an indiscretion, whereas it has actually offended the sensibilities of every woman in this country. I'm sorry, GVL. I completely disagree with you there. It is not an indiscretion. It has reduced the value, the worth, and the competence of a woman down to how she looks. That's what this statement has done. It doesn't matter which profession we are talking about. Her competence comes down to how she looks. That's what this statement means. And Pallavi Joshi, I just very quickly want to get your comments on this. Do you see any difference in any political party here? Because whether it's the JDU or the BJP or the Samajwadi Party and countless other parties, there have been these kind of statements made by their leaders time and again and no action taken. Do you see any difference between all of them?
Unfortunately, no. I want to refer to a comment that Mr. Rao made in the beginning. And Mr. Rao, I respect you a lot, but there is one statement that you made which I take an objection to. You said that politics is a very difficult profession for women. I did not like that statement, sir, because it is nobody can sit there and judge and say which professions are good enough for women and which are not. And if we are going to hear statements like this, then I don't think any party has any voice to blame the other parties and to ask for apologies from them. Secondly, asking for apologies, I think, is only an ego game, because it's only going to soothe egos. The next time they'll come out with an even more sexist comment. What needs to be done is to educate these people and to tell them. I really don't know. I draw a big zero here. I don't know how it has to be done. Sorry, you were saying
But
something.
what he
Mr.
said
Rao.
was that there needs to be some kind of criminalization of these kind of statements.
But in this case,
Yeah.
Tina, he says that it's not a criminalization
It's an
question at all
indiscretion.
because it's just
Yeah,
an
just
indiscretion.
an indiscretion.
Suhail said just an indiscretion. When he talks about, Priyanka Gandhi being just another pretty face, is it just an indiscretion? And therefore, just distancing is an enough statement coming from a senior minister? That's about it. Action taken, matter closed. Let's move forward to the next campaign in Uttar Pradesh for business as usual. Is that what it is?
In fact, what you said is it's almost like Alice in Wonderland, where lesson from lesson to lesson. They want to brush the problem under the carpet by issuing what I call a flaky apology, which no one means, no one cares about, no action is taken on. A. B. I would fervently appeal to the Prime Minister, to the BJP President, or for that matter to Nitish Kumar, whoever is there in JDU, or for that matter any party. Unless you expel these people, unless you make them redundant in political life, these people will return with as much vigor and more venom to heap the kind of insults they do. I was a bit dismayed and anguished about someone who said, what is Priyanka Gandhi's credentials? What is Rahul Gandhi's credentials? You may have a view.
No, whatever
but for
they may
God's
be,
sake,
yes.
He's as much
No,
a
that's
member
absolutely,
of
that's
Parliament of the lower house
it's
as
a
the Prime
redundant
Minister
question
is.
here,
Why
because
question
whatever their credentials may be,
and
their credentials are
confuse
certainly
credentials
not
with
about how they look.
Tina,
Yeah,
let me
that's not for anyone to question. But I want to go back to Dr. Sunil Kumar Singh. One second. Ranjana Kumari, just coming to you. I have a question for Sunil Kumar Singh, because we're talking about taking action, and Sharad Yadav may be a very senior leader of your party, but will you call upon Nitish Kumar to take some action, to at least talk to Sharad Yadav and say that these kind of statements are not acceptable? Because as we've already proved, he's a serial offender. He has said these kind of things time and again, and I want to bring your attention, I was just looking for this, in fact, I want to bring your attention to one statement of his which has personally offended me on such a deep level. In February 2013, when asked by a female reporter which is better, Bihar or Madhya Pradesh, he said, they are all beautiful and so are you. You are also beautiful. If somebody said that to me as a journalist, I would take that person to court. How can some leader of your party be allowed to time and again make statements like this, Dr. Sunil Kumar Singh? Why doesn't Nitish Kumar take action?
Tina, I would like to assure you on few points that our top leadership of JDU is very sensitive towards women issues, and your channel is that reputed that they will be sensitive to your channel issues. I think the way you people are putting it, and if this
statement
has offended women,
Dr. Sunil Kumar Singh, let me just jog your memory. The statement that Tina just read out dated back to 2013 February, when between 2013 and between 2017 January has Nitish Kumar actually apologized to this country and the profession of journalists, women journalists in specific, that his leader should not have made a comment like this, and I apologize on his behalf. When has Nitish Kumar pulled up Sharad Yadav? When has anybody ever said anything to Sharad Yadav, who we are saying is a history sheeter? Even during the women reservation bill, he says ye parkati औरतों का पूरा demand hai, parkati औरतें. I mean, this is the regular language Sharad Yadav uses. Who in your political party will apologize, and how many times will you apologize for Sharad Yadav? But you still keep rewarding him. You keep sending him to Lok Sabha. You keep sending him to Rajya Sabha. Those are the rewards that come Sharad Yadav's way. No action is ever taken against Sharad Yadav.
I think the top leadership of JDU is very sensitive towards the matters which comes in news. I think that this time also the thing will be taken seriously, because our top leadership is very sincere to women issues. That's all I can tell you right now. And think because the sensitive government and sensitive top leadership will definitely do something about it, because your channel is very credible, and it takes cognizance of whatever you say on your reputed channel.
Lip service, or more than just lip service and assurances? Distancing of senior leaders from statements made by erring leaders, is that the only action that we are going to see, or is the mindset of political leaders who make these sexist comments going to change anytime soon? We are not giving up that fight, and we are also going to fight for more teeth to our organizations like the National Commission for Women as well as the Election Commission of India if we have to depend on these institutions to take any action against those who err on the side of sexism. Thank you very much to all our panelists for joining us here on debate number 1 tonight. Women are not objects.